Yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Victor Vincent, and I'm a life and business coach. So today, I'm going to be doing a book review. So I'm going to be doing this book review, Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. So the book review is going to basically consist of life lessons and business lessons. So let's get right into it. Well, what actually happened is that during Chinua Achebe time, during the colonial time, the African story were very big, It was big among the Europeans, it was big among the Americans, They wanted to know, what is the story with African people, their mentality, their culture and everything. So most of the writers that time was like Africans are barbarians, they are uncivilized and that kind of stuff. So Chinua Achebe followed that tune because Chinua Achebe, I think he was educated in England. So because he was reading all these books, so he believed what the Europeans believe. So later he looked at his skin and realized he's a black man too. So he now realized that those writers, those white writers, literature writers and everything was actually talking about him, was actually calling him a barbarian. So that is what prompted him to go and write this book, Things Fall Apart. So basically, it's an African man telling his own story, Chinua Achebe is an African man telling his own story. So that is what this book is all about. And one of the top writers at that time, I think his name is Yate Dobos or something like that, actually commented on the book that the program, the story Chinua Achebe talked about could have actually happened anywhere. So it could have actually happened in Europe or America because it was a story of a man that raised from rag to riches. So that is just the background about this book. So basically, I pick up three things that I think is important that we can talk about on this book. So let's get into it. So what are the 3 points? So number one, I talk about flexibility. And the second point is bad financial behavior. And the third part is be the best at what you do, So let's talk about flexibility. I'm going to be talking about a guy called Okonkwo, okay? I'm going to be talking about a guy called Okonkwo. Then I will be talking about Obiarike. Obiarike is like his successor. So I'm going to use Oshomole and Obaseki to give example because it's a similar story. So Okonkwo was, when the white folks came, the colonial power came, so they tried to encourage Okonkwo, to change, So Okonkwo was not ready to change. He was not ready to innovate. So he wanted to keep the tradition. So that's why Okonkwo was defeated and humiliated and taken to the evil forest. So we had the same thing with Oshomole, Oshomole was once a hero in Edo State. I remember the days where the Okada men used to say Oshomole when he had a court case. But he later disgraced himself because he didn't want to listen to the people. He actually forget where he was coming from. You understand what I mean? So you have to be flexible, okay? You have to be flexible. You have to be innovative, You have to follow what is going on with the time, I can use a coronavirus to give example. When the world shut down, many companies have to go online, to do business online. So those ones that didn't go online, they were killed, They probably just get out of business. Quickly, let me just quickly give example of people like Okonkwo. So we have Idi Amin of Uganda that actually run to, I think, Saudi Arabia. Then we have Gaddafi, But Gaddafi died. He was humiliated, was killed, because Gaddafi, I think he came into power by taking over from a monarch. So just like we have Oba of Benin in Edo State. So he actually took over a monarch. I think that is the story, either Gaddafi or Saddam Hussein. So now the people are telling Gaddafi, look, we have had enough, please leave. Even South Africa offered Gaddafi the opportunity to come and stay with them. He refused, so he ended up losing his life. Then we had the people like a Gambia president. That guy did not lose his life, but he lived. You know, so that is people that have sense. You know, when you know things have changed, it's not business as usual. You have to leave. So I will run this story up with a company called Blockbuster. Okay, Blockbuster in Ireland we know it as Extra Vision. So Blockbuster was a big company. They are into video rental. So if you want to rent a movie to go and watch, you go to Blockbuster. So Netflix was just a small company at that time. They were into, I think, into posting video on post office or something like that. So they approached Blockbuster and told Blockbuster, look, help us to develop or even buy our company for a peanut. We don't care. So Blockbuster said no, it doesn't need Netflix, you know. So it cost Blockbuster, you know. Blockbuster was out of business. And Netflix today, you know, Netflix today, even my woman in Africa can watch movie on Netflix, you know. So Netflix is not the big guys in video, why Blockbuster is gone. Okay, the reason why Blockbuster is gone is because they refuse to innovate. They refuse to move with the time. You see, that's what killed Okonkwo. And I think let me just quickly drop this story here. You know, I have this brother, you know, bought him a keke, you know. So he destroyed his keke within a month. So he came back and said, no, so when I see his condition, I said, okay, let me help you. You know, I can't buy you keke again because it's over $1 million, because people didn't understand. People just thought it's the actual price of the keke, which is close to 800,000, but I'm the one that licenses it, put the number plate, register it with the council and everything. So I explained to this, my brother, look, I can't afford to buy you keke again. Why don't you start with Okada? You know, he said, no, he said it's too big for Okada. Why will he drive keke and now start driving Okada? So for him, because of his ego, you know, and the same thing is what happened to Shomole. Shomole have too much ego, even till now. You know, someone that thought Edo State, he owns Edo State. Even the governor, his former employee, you know, Shomole was the boss, told Shomole, like, if you cough in Edo State, we are going to deal with you. You see, it's very easy, you know. So when things change, you have to change. That is just the story that is just the basic story. So number 2, we are going to be talking about bad financial behavior. So in this, we are going to be talking about Unoka. Okay, Unoka is the father of Okonkwo. So I'll just read a few quotes from the book, then we start from there. So Unoka, they said is quite incapable of thinking about tomorrow. So if any money came his way and it seldom did, he immediately bought gas of palm wine, called around his neighbors, and made merry. Okay, so Unoka is a guy that any money that comes to his hand, he call his neighbor and flex with them, you know, spend it anyhow. He doesn't think about. He said that he's quite incapable of thinking about tomorrow. I'm talking about the father of Okonkwo now, which is the main actor of this book. So when I read this part of the book, I was laughing. I said, this sounds like one of my brother I know, you know, because he even in my own place where we used to live at Ogida, they used to call him the Esama of Ogida, because he always believed on declaration. You know, if you argue with him, you are spending too much money, why are you training your money away? We tell you that, don't you just see the people that just died in the aircraft, you know, that kind of example. So that is the kind of mentality Unoka have. You understand? And that is the kind of mentality this my brother have. So you may look at this is a old book, but it's still relevant today because people are still behaving like that. You know, they just have money, they want to finish it. So, like I said, our video is to elevate the conversation. It's for the elite. It's for the people that can reason. So that is why I'm going to be quoting Malcolm X. You know, Malcolm X said, "The future belongs to those who prepare for it today." the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So what is Malcolm X saying here? Malcolm X is trying to tell people like Unoka, people like that, my brother, like, look, save some money, save some money. I think the advice people usually give, you should save enough money in case of if you lose your job, the money should last you for at least 3 to 6 months. So savings is very important, but people like Unoka don't think that. They just want to spend everything and go away with it. So another thing you can do is investment. In some of my videos I talk about investing in government bonds. Invest your money in government bond. Like if you are very busy, if you don't want to go and start a business, invest your money. There are real estate there you can invest your money into and be getting rent out of it. So you don't want to end up like people like Unoka or people like that my brother that just spend everything they have. So I will be reading from the book again. Another thing about Unoka, he's always said that he always said that whenever he saw a dead man's mouth, he saw the folly of not eating what one had in one's lifetime. So he basically was into mocking dead people. So this is one of the quotes that is very common among us. Say, waiting you eat for your body, now be your own. You understand? Me, I'm not saying you cannot spend your money. I'm not saying you cannot eat your money. If you see me, I eat a lot. I take care of myself. But you have to reserve something for your family. It's very important, If, let me quickly use Captain Osa to give an example. If Captain Osa have decided to eat all his money in his body, what could have been left for the family, Now there's a house they can put in, there's investment, Even the daughter is doing very well with Captain Osa investment. So we are not saying you cannot eat. Instead of mocking the dead for not eating, eat and invest in your family. So that is number 2, bad financial behavior. So let's look at number 3. So number 3, this talk about Unoka, because Unoka was a great guy. Let's just read from the book. So number 3 is actually be the best at what you do. So let's read number 1. He said he was a very good on his flute. The flute, he was very good. Sometimes another village could ask Unoka band and their dancing egugu to come and stay with them and teach them their tune. So basically, people will come and invite his band to come. Let me just quickly add this because people will want to dismiss this book and say it's a novel, it's not real, But I've actually done a research, talking to my Igbo friends here in Dublin, and I confirm from them, after speaking to maybe up to 15 to 20, that this book is actually 70% correct. So this story I'm telling you is real. So Unoka was a good flute player. So I'm going to end this video with 2 quotes. Why it's important to be very good at what you do and to be your best. So I'm going to start with Martin Luther King Jr. He said, whatever you do, be the best. Even though your house is located in the highest mountain or a remote village, the world will come and find you. You understand? Whatever you do, try to be the best. If you are a cleaner, it doesn't matter what you do, a janitor or whatever, try to be the best. Even though you live in a mountain or in a remote village, people will come and look for you to come and perform your services or whatever you produce if it's good. That is a Martin Luther King Jr. there. So another quote is from Dr. Miles Maroon. Okay, Dr. Miles Maroon said people come to the mango tree for its fruits. The mango tree never go to the people. You understand me now? People will come to you for what you produce. People will come to you for your services. So Unoka people will go to Unoka to come and sing for them because Unoka can sing. Like me now, I'm a business coach, I'm a life coach. People will hire me to come and teach. People want to hear wisdom, how to navigate life, how to run their business. So you have to be the best at what you do, So folks, that is a wrap. This is Things Fall Apart 101 by Victor Vince. So let me just quickly do a recap. So number 1 is flexibility, be innovative. You have to move with the time. Otherwise, you will be left behind. Okay, so flexibility there. Let me just quickly do example. Like we are negotiating with one of our manager to come and work with us now, and the manager, we find a house for the manager, just one room. So the manager is insisting that he has never lived in a room before, that that he need a self-contained. You understand? So this go back to being flexible. You can take a place, you can manage anything temporarily. It doesn't mean it's forever. Excuse me, just something to start. You know what I mean? I know I have to do a lot of bad job when I come into this Europe, but I know I was going somewhere. But you have to start from somewhere. Okay, I even sleep on the streets in some occasion. Was homeless. Because nothing is permanent. That's what they said. Nothing is permanent. So try to start with something. So we talk about flexibility. We talk about bad financial behavior from Unoka. I want to spend every penny that comes to his pocket. It's a very bad. Because tomorrow you may have to go and beg for people to feed you. I always tell people, just help yourself. Don't carry your body to come and put on me, because me, I have my own body as well. So that is bad financial behavior from Unoka there. Then the last part is be the best at what you do. Unoka was a great flute player. Everybody. I remember I was telling people my story when I was growing up in Ogida. I said people will come and pay me to play football in competition. I mean, this was normal. People will come, and I'm not saying I'm the best footballer, but people were willing to pay me to come and play competition for them. In most cases, they win the competition because they believe I'm a game changer. So what do you do out there that you think people will pay for? We from our own institution, VV institution, can help you to monetize that your skill, that your talent you think you have. So that's a wrap. My name is Victor Vince. Like I said, I'm a life coach, I'm a business coach, and do have a productive day. Take care. Bye.